I'm just kind of ready for the next chapter and a new challenge in my life. But I think the reason I decided to announce it when I did was just to have that closure.
Three of the WNBA's most influential players, Caitlin Clark, Sophie Cunningham, and Lexie Hull, have just made an announcement that's set to shake the very foundations of women's basketball. What they revealed isn't just another career move or media stunt. It's a bold, unprecedented alliance that could change the future of the league forever. This powerful trio isn't just stepping up for their own careers. They're fighting for the future of every WNBA player, past, present, and future. With the WNBA soaring in popularity, now's the perfect time for these players to take action and demand the change that's long overdue. Get ready to find out how Clark, Cunningham, and Hull are using their collective star power to challenge the status quo, pushing for fairer pay, better working conditions, and long-term sustainability for women's professional basketball. This isn't just a game changer on the court. It's a movement that could reshape the league forever. On July 8th, 2025, an event unfolded that would forever alter the landscape of women's professional basketball. Three of the most influential figures in the WNBA, Caitlin Clark, Sophie Cunningham, and Lexie Hull, made a joint announcement that not only surprised fans, but also sent shockwaves throughout the basketball community. This wasn't just an ordinary career decision or a marketing move. What was revealed by the trio was far more impactful, something that hinted at a seismic shift in the WNBA's power dynamics and structure. Their alliance came at a time when the WNBA is experiencing a boom in popularity, sponsorship deals, and viewership. Yet players have long voiced concerns about low pay, harsh working conditions, and limited career longevity. Clark, Cunningham, and Hull's announcement was more than just personal. It was a unified stance aimed at addressing these long-standing issues and creating a new era in women's basketball. Each of the three players represents a different stage in their careers. Clark, the WNBA superstar rookie, whose electrifying debut season reignited national interest in women's basketball. Cunningham, the seasoned veteran whose experience navigating the ups and downs of the league lends her a unique perspective. And Hull, the rising star with a promising future, who symbolizes the hopes of the next generation of players. Their collaboration signals a collective desire for change, a change that isn't only for their own benefit, but for every player in the league, present and future. The announcement took place at the Indiana Fever Training Facility, a location now etched in the history of women's sports. As the three players stood side by side, the basketball world watched in awe. Fans had long speculated about the possibility of such an alliance, but no one could have predicted the magnitude of the move. This was a coordinated reveal, and it was clear that something much larger than personal career moves was at play. The question that everyone was left asking, what did this trio have planned, and what was it going to mean for the future of women's basketball? The buzz around the announcement was undeniable, but what exactly was revealed that left insiders, players, and fans in awe? The trio's message wasn't just about personal career shifts. It was a statement about the future of the WNBA, and perhaps even women's professional sports in general. They were signaling their intention to challenge the system and push for structural reforms that could reshape how the league operates and how athletes in the league are compensated, supported, and valued. The timing of their announcement couldn't have been more significant. At this very moment, the WNBA is enjoying its highest level of visibility and engagement. Audience numbers are at an all-time high. Sponsorship deals are growing exponentially, and global attention on the league has never been greater. Yet, despite these improvements, the players have consistently raised concerns about low pay, inadequate working conditions, and the lack of long-term support for players. For players like Caitlin Clark, the success of her rookie season has elevated her status to superstar status, but that doesn't change the reality of the restrictive salary caps under which she operates. Clark has undoubtedly become the face of the WNBA, but like many of her peers, she is still subject to the same limitations that players in the league have struggled with for years. Her rise to prominence has demonstrated that women's sports can generate substantial fan engagement, media attention, and financial support, yet these gains haven't been adequately reflected in the pay and resources provided to the players themselves. This discrepancy has been a long-standing issue in the WNBA and women's sports in general, and the collective stance taken by Clark, Cunningham, and Hull indicates that the players are no longer willing to accept this status quo. Each member of this alliance brings something unique to the table. Caitlin Clark, with her exceptional basketball skills and her ability to attract a massive fan base, has become the WNBA's biggest financial engine. Her social media following, media presence, and the crowd sizes she draws at every game make her a major driving force in the league's recent success. Sophie Cunningham, with her years of experience navigating the challenges of the WNBA's pay structure and off-season contracts, brings the perspective of someone who has seen firsthand the financial struggles that players have to endure. Cunningham's experience, both within the WNBA and internationally, gives her a comprehensive understanding of the economic disparities in women's professional sports. Lexie Hull, though still early in her career, represents the future of the league. Hull's journey symbolizes the next wave of players who are still navigating the complexities of building a career in a league that has long struggled with financial sustainability. She has the potential to be one of the cornerstones of the WNBA's future, and her involvement in this movement signals that the next generation of players is ready to step up and demand the changes that have been needed for years. Their alliance represents much more than just the voices of three players. It signals the beginning of a collective effort to bring about structural reforms within the WNBA. The trio's efforts come at a time when the league is riding a wave of commercial success, but that success is not equally distributed. While the WNBA's audience numbers are growing, the players who generate this success are still operating under pay structures that are far below those seen in other major professional leagues. Clark's social media influence and commercial appeal have already made her one of the most valuable players in the WNBA's history, yet she still faces the same financial constraints as her peers. Cunningham's experience, both on and off the court, has given her a unique understanding of the systemic issues at play, and Hull's fresh perspective as a young player allows her to see the cracks in the system that older generations may have been forced to accept. Together, this trio represents the full spectrum of WNBA experience, and their decision to join forces speaks to the realization that the current system is no longer sustainable, nor is it fair. The time for change is now, and they have the platform, the influence, and the drive to make it happen. One of the most significant aspects of their alliance is how it bridges generational gaps and team rivalries. Cunningham, Clark, and Hull represent three distinct phases of a player's career, yet they've come together for a common cause. Their unity speaks to a larger shift in women's professional sports, where athletes from different backgrounds and stages of their careers are coming together to demand change. This collaboration signals that women's sports, particularly the WNBA, are on the cusp of a transformation, one where the players themselves will have a stronger voice in shaping the future of their league and the business of women's basketball. Their united front could become a model for athletes in other women's sports who are also fighting for better pay, working conditions, and long-term career support. The WNBA has always been a league of great talent and passion, but now it's becoming a league of power that comes from unity and collective action. This could be the start of a new era in women's sports, where athletes are no longer passive recipients of decisions made by others, but active participants in shaping their own futures. In addition to the issues surrounding player pay and working conditions, the trio's alliance also points to a deeper issue that many WNBA players have faced: the lack of long-term support for players after their careers. Many WNBA athletes spend their off-seasons playing overseas, where salaries and career opportunities are often more lucrative. This global outlook has opened the eyes of many players to the possibilities of a more sustainable career path, one that doesn't require them to leave their home league for financial reasons. Clark, Cunningham, and Hull's alliance is not just about improving pay for active players. It's about creating a long-term structure that allows players to build stable careers in the WNBA with greater support for their health, well-being, and financial futures. Their goal is to build a system that benefits not only the superstars of today, but also the rising players of tomorrow, ensuring that every player has the tools and resources to thrive in the league for as long as possible. As these three women come together, they are proving that women's basketball is more than just a sport, it's a movement. The commercial success of the WNBA, driven in part by stars like Clark, has proven that there is a market for women's sports. Now, the players are demanding that they be compensated fairly for the value they bring to the league. Their alliance represents a new generation of athletes who are ready to push for change in the sports industry, and their influence is only growing. The question is no longer whether the WNBA will evolve to meet the needs of its players. It's how quickly will the league respond? With the combined influence of Clark's star power, Cunningham's veteran wisdom, and Hull's potential, this movement could be the catalyst that sparks a larger conversation about the value of women's sports, not just in basketball, but across all athletic disciplines. This could be the beginning of a new chapter in the history of the WNBA, one where players have a stronger voice, more respect, and better opportunities to build successful, sustainable careers. For years, players have voiced their frustrations with the system, but now, with the visibility and power of Clark, Cunningham, and Hull. Their demands for change have never been more powerful. The world is watching, and it's clear that the WNBA's future is on the brink of transformation. What happens next will not only affect the players on the court, but will also change the entire landscape of women's professional sports for generations to come. So, as Caitlin Clark, Sophie Cunningham, and Lexie Hull step forward, they are not just rewriting the rules for women's basketball, they are rewriting the rules for women's sports. This is the beginning of a new era, one that values athletes not just for their on-court performance, but for their ability to shape the future of the game. Their story is just beginning, but it's already clear that the future of women's professional basketball is in capable hands. This is a turning point, and we are witnessing the first chapter of a movement that will resonate across all sports, all over the world.